Hi, my name is Marin and welcome back to the garden. Today was a long day coming. Finally we can get our tomatoes out. In order to get them out I've got to clean out some of the garden, so let's do that. This spinach needs to come out as I need the space, otherwise I would have left it for a little bit longer. And the cabbage. We've got a little bit of a head on it. It's a small size bowl and some of them don't have a head at all, so it will be good for a couple of salads or something. As you can see, this one has started splitting already, meaning it wants to go to flower. It's finished. So this is coming out and then we are gonna start planting our tomatoes. So this is what we've got. A little bit disappointing on the cabbage, but there's plenty of spinach. Now I'll clean that up after this video and we'll make a meal out of it. Let's get the bed prepped and get these tomatoes in. Now I've cleaned that up. I'll amend the soil with some potash and a few of my organic fertilizers that I have shown already. And I have some compost left from last time. I'll sprinkle that on top and that will be it. Now, what I like to do when I plant my tomatoes, I want the temperature to be minimum 12 degrees centigrade or Celsius minimum before I put them out. If you put them out before that, they usually don't grow. Now, last week in my video I've shown my plants, and if you look now, they're about 3 times bigger than last week. If I put them out last week into the ground and we had 7-8 degrees mornings, they probably would not have grown at all, or if that would be so little that you wouldn't even see it. So 1 week being patient, it makes a big deal for those things. Now, also some people will take the tomatoes out of the greenhouse, back into the greenhouse, out of the greenhouse to acclimatize them to the weather outside, because they obviously been under greenhouse. I don't have time for that. What I do is I look for a cloudy day like this. Now it's meant to rain in a couple of hours, which is perfect. And today and tomorrow will be another cloudy day, but the temperature will not go under 12 degrees Celsius. So the 3-4 days that they're gonna sit outside in the cloud will be enough for them to acclimatize to the outside, and me not having to worry to take them in, take them out. I'm just too busy. I've got my work and I just don't have the time to do this. I just watched the weather and today has worked out to be perfect. Now we are starting to get some rain in, so I better get going. So amendments are in. I've worked them into the top layer of my soil, but it's been raining on and off, and now we've got the sun, so compost is going on top now, and then we can start planting. I obviously don't have enough space to plant all my tomatoes at this point of time, because obviously I've got all this other stuff growing, but you'll see what I do and how I do it and why I do it as we go in the video. Now here's the plan. So this front row of celery has to go. Chop it, it will go into the fridge. If it gets eaten, gets eaten. There's still a back row there, and I've got some upstairs, up the top. No problem, we got too much. I'd rather have the tomato growing than having too much celery. Now with the density, I will plant them about 30 centimeters apart. Now these beans won't be in the way. They will be grow much quicker, the tomatoes, than the beans. Now we've got Cherokee purple tomato. I've got mortgage lifter, Bulgarian giant tomatoes. These are black cherries here. These are Arkansan travelers. We have some black cream and my favorite ananas tomatoes. So this is the reason why I plant them and how I plant them. They will get planted a bit deeper than what they were in the pot, because these little hairs, they are new roots, so when that gets into contact with ground, they will get some new roots, plus it's gonna make the plants a little bit more stable in the wind. They haven't had any wind in the greenhouse, so they're still standing okay, but this will keep them a bit more sturdy. Why am I planting them in a row and so close together, and how I can get away with it? Now I will make sure these plants grow only on one main stem, so any side shoots will get cut off. This will be enough for the airflow around them, so they will not get disease. Plus I'll keep trimming the leaves from the bottom up to keep the leaves elevated. Second thing is, as a small gardener, I don't want to just grow tomatoes, I want to grow other stuff. Now this gives me a good amount of space to plant something in front here and something in the back here. So whatever I plant in the back, so it's probably gonna be some lettuce. I'll put some beetroot in the front. The leaves of the beetroot and the lettuce will cover the ground, keep it cool, keep it moist, and prevent all the splashing, which will help my tomatoes and give me extra yield. So this is the plan. I'll show you how I put one in, and then I'll just finish the rest and show you what I've got. As you can see, I'm gonna replant this beetroot out, and this is my basil. Now the basil has been out of the greenhouse because I just didn't have space to put it in, and it hasn't grown much. Now I'll put a couple of plants around the tomatoes here, just because basil and tomatoes goes together, but same thing would have happened to my tomatoes. If I have planted it out earlier, it would not have grown. So I have actually sacrificed the basil just to see if my theory was right, whether I should or should not put my plants out early, as the book says, not as the weather says. So now I think I've done the right thing. How about that? The forecast was wrong again. Sun is out. We had a little bit of rain, but not a whole day worth of clouds. Still okay, it's not too hot today. Now this is what I've got. I've got my tomatoes interplanted here with the beetroot on both sides. I've left this space here to put more of my peppers out. I think the little one is dead, and the one that I transplanted didn't make it. I've got a couple of little basil. And then I planted 3 rows of spinach behind there. I'm gonna leave this front bit for lettuce or something, but I wanna see if this spinach is gonna make it If it doesn't, it's gonna be easier for me to plant some new ones, or if some doesn't make it, to replace it. I won't be trellising these tomatoes yet. I'll give them a week or two before they grow a bit bigger. Then I'll put my strings down. Yeah, and with that said, thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, and hopefully next week we can do take out the cucumber, zucchini, squash, and the rest of the hot weather plants. Now, since I've freed some pots, I can transplant my little peppers out into the pots and give them a little bit of a head start to grow.